Be a part of whatsoever you want to be a part of.
You wish you had the life that I have. You wish you were me. You wish you were raised like me. You wish you had the exposure that I had.
I am a queen. I can walk on my own. I can command authority on my own. I can rule an entire empire, an entire nation on my own.
You wish you had the manners that I had. You wish you had the etiquette, the intelligence, the capacity to be who I am. But guess what? You will never be. Love of you! I'm so happy. I'm so happy that this happened. Me, I'm on Laura's side. I feel very vindicated right now. God, thank you. What do I do? Should I come to church, baby?
My God, guys, hey God, I am too shocked to speak. I am angry. I am livid. I finished watching this particular episode of the Real Housewives of Lagos and I was left devastated. Guys, I just don't even know how to put my emotions to words, but I know that I just feel so weird. And you know, the interesting part is I never thought that a day will come or an episode of this show will come when I'll have to thoroughly, like properly drag Chioma. And guys, sadly, this is that episode. Chioma disgraced herself. I felt ashamed on Chioma's behalf. Chioma disgraced herself. Chioma exposed a side of her to the whole world that should have been better, you know, kept locked in a closet. My God. Chioma proved that she's a proper betrayer on this episode. The way she threw Caroline under the bus, the way she betrayed her friendship on the show with Caroline, Jesus. Nobody should experience that. My God, nobody should experience that. So on this video, just gonna go ahead and unpack every single detail of what went down on the episode 12 of the Real Housewives of Lagos. I know that a lot of us were expecting episode 11, but episode 11 turned out to be the video of the launch of the show in South Africa. So we were automatically catapulted to episode 12, and I am presuming that this is probably the last episode for this season. I don't know. We'll have to wait for an official announcement. But before I get into this video, I'm going to put out a number of disclaimers. So one, whatever I say on this video is my frank opinion of how I viewed this particular episode of the show. All right, I mean, I do not know these women from anywhere. I do not know them in reality. So whatever and however I analyze their characters, their personalities on the show, it is based off of the energy that they give. It's based off of what they do, what they show, what they portray. I mean, guys, no blames on me, because of course there's also the role of the producers who edit the show to bring out the entertaining parts and to also bring out the dramatic parts. So whatever I say on this video, it is my frank opinion and also what I see on this episode and how I interpreted the activities, the actions, and the events that I saw. Secondly, whatever I say on this video, however I analyze Chioma or Caroline or Iyabo or any other person, is in no way a justification or a vindication for all of Laura's excesses on this show in general. I mean, we all agree that from episode 1 to episode 10, Laura had been pretty much intentional about all the drama and all the negativity that she had been spreading and dishing out to the ladies on the show. So I've seen a lot of people, you know, rejoicing, celebrating online. Oh my God, Laura is vindicated. Chioma and Caroline are fought, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's their own cup of tea. So what I am saying is, I'm not going to come on here and glorify Laura and give Laura accolades. So for those of you who are Laura's fans, you're going to come on here and say, oh, Glory, where is that same energy? Use that same energy to analyze Caroline and Chioma. I'm sorry, I'm going to disappoint you. I'm going to say what I want to say and what I have to say about the Laura and the Caroline and Chioma's fight, but I will not come and stroke Laura's ego. Yes, I am not sorry. So I'm sure that as you watch this video, you definitely have your own thoughts, your own perception of how you viewed this particular episode of the show and how you interpreted the actions of the ladies. So please just go ahead and share all of that in the comment section below, politely, without clamping down on any other person's perspective, please. Now, without much further ado, let me just officially welcome all of you back to my YouTube channel. You're welcome back. My name is Glory Elijah, and this is Frankly Speaking speaking with Lori. I am the girl with the tea. Guys, I literally finished up my mug of tea because this episode gave me so much tension. I was almost choking. I had to drink up some tea. So yeah, if this is your first time coming across my video, thank you so much for clicking to watch. You are absolutely welcome. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel by hitting the red subscribe bell. Yeah, the red subscribe button. Just do exactly what you see on your screen. And if you always want to receive a lot of my videos on this channel, we give the most detailed, factual, accurate analysis of reality TV shows, movies, and trending social topics. So just hit the white bell button. It's called the post notification bell. When you do so, whenever I upload a new video, you will be the first to receive a lot of those videos. I upload videos every day. And lastly, guys, do not forget to make it a date with us tomorrow, Saturday, 3 p.m. WAT on this channel. What we do at that time every Saturday is we have our family meeting, aka our FSWG Saturday YouTube live stream. You do not want to miss out. There's a lot to talk about. So please make it a date with us tomorrow. And that said, let's quickly get into the video and unpack all the juicy details of this particular episode 12 of the Real Housewives of Lagos. So this episode opened up with the ladies on a yacht cruise. If you all recall, they are still in Dubai celebrating Tiannah's 40th birthday. And that was when Iyabo and Toyin actually noticed that Laura was on the yacht with them, and so they playfully started teasing her and, you know, kind of attacking her that, oh, what are you doing here? I thought you said you had a phobia for water.
I'm here because of you. Because of me. I can't be talking like this.
Iyabo also kind of felt weird or awkward that, okay, this person, when I hosted the ladies first on the beach, she had actually claimed that she could not attend because she had a phobia for water. So why is she here on the yacht that is actually sailing on water?
Laura is an hypocrite. You see, she's on this boat now, but she didn't come on my own yacht boat for me. What's going on with the water thing?
To be honest, I just shook my head and said, okay, fine, that's Laura. Let's move on. So still on the yacht, they were all having fun. Conversations was flowing. Toyin obviously was pretty excited that Laura was there. So Toyin and Iyabo, they were still teasing Laura. And that was when Caroline had gone to Toyin to ask for a cup with ice. Of course, Toyin is the host, guys. Toyin is the host. So it was quite natural for Caroline to go and ask for a cup with ice. And that was when Toyin, irrationally, in my opinion, and unnecessarily started attacking Caroline, telling Caroline that she was rude. Can't she see that she's having a conversation with Laura?
Get on here.
Toyin, please, sorry, can I get a cup and your ice please, if possible?
Do you want to be rude?
What happened?
I was trying to talk to Laura. Why
No,
are you
sorry, I'm just asking you for a cup.
I mean, guys, I'm wondering, like, is that not brain touch? I don't get it. Is that no? Is Toyin okay?
I say, excuse me. I believe the young person can tell you that you say you are bougie. You will calm down.
Being rude, obsessed with you. No, Toyin, that's okay.
Like, is she sure she's okay? You know, at that point, guys, what I saw was Toyin being an ass licker. Yes, in my frank opinion. I mean, it was very obvious, yeah. She and Laura, they had made up, they had made their peace. They are now friends, back to being friends. So I felt like at that point in time, her unnecessarily lashing out or attacking Caroline was her trying to put up a show, trying to prove to Laura that, oh, Laura, I've got your back. And I'm like, that's stupid. That is very, very stupid, petty, and childish. There are so many ways that you can prove to your friend, your so-called friend, that you can stand up for them than being very, very mannerless. That was Toyin just being very, very mannerless. I mean, to be very frank with you, I did not see anything wrong in Caroline going to go and ask the host of the yacht that, oh, please, can I get a cup with ice? I mean, that was just basic Jesus. You know what, guys? Let's just move on. And then Laura started complaining that she was tired, she wanted to sleep, and then she went to go and sleep below the deck. And then Chioma and Iyabo, they had conversations about relationships. Chioma talking about the kind of guy she would like to be with, spend the rest of her life with, have kids with, have a family with. And then moving on to Mariam's own story about how she met her husband. She broke down in tears. It was a very, very emotional trip on the yacht. Yes, the ladies, I felt at that point in time that, you know, them sharing their own stories and their own perspectives about marriage, about relationships, I felt like they were kind of bonding, not knowing that something was going to eventually explode.
Calling my parents and my sister in America, because right now they're the only people that I speak to that I just feel will understand this level of emotion that I'm feeling.
The next thing we saw was quite shocking because apparently a lot had actually happened the night before. Yes, and to be very frank with you, I was really livid with the producers for not showing us at least details of what went down the night before. At that point in time, it was just very, very obvious that these producers, they were trying to twist a narrative, you know, trying to portray a narrative of Caroline just to make the show dramatic and exciting. And that was what they successfully did. And guys, I also think I should point it out that this particular episode was just basically a cut and paste work. They edited so many things and they joined so many parts and so many clips, all in the bid to make this particular episode dramatic and explosive. And I give it to them. They were quite successful at it, but it was very, very irritated because it was very obvious that they were trying to push an agenda. But that is not the crux of the matter, guys. I just thought I should point that out. Now, moving on, the next thing we saw, as I said before, was the morning after. Mariam was looking very sober. According to her, she wanted to think about the events of the previous night. And then next we saw Chioma to coming out to the balcony of her room wearing dark shades, and she was putting the call through to her mother, and then she added her elder sister onto the call, and then she was complaining to them and narrating the details of the event that had actually unfolded the night before.
There was an issue with one of the ladies who I'm close to, and another lady who I'm also kind of close to, or at least I really like and I respect. So I'm not giving my family the actual names because I don't even want them to see these people in this light. This person that I'm close to has had issues with pretty much every single person.
Now, this is Chioma's own side of the story. She and Caroline, they were having conversations in their room. And Caroline was pretty much upset about something. She was trying to talk Caroline out of it. And Iyabo had walked into the room, for whatever reason, and Caroline had lashed out at Iyabo, and Iyabo had been pretty much upset, and she had been at the receiving end of it all because she was trying to separate Iyabo's attack from landing on Caroline, and she had been the one that had received all the physical assault from Iyabo. So she was basically crying and narrating all of that experience to her family. Now, guys, I'm not saying that Chioma should not feel bad about what had happened. As a matter of fact, I was really upset that the producers had not shown us that particular incident. At least they should have allowed us to see it for ourselves, just as they've been showing the other fights on the show, right? They should have allowed us to see it for ourselves so that we can deduce what exactly happened, who was right and who was wrong. Why they were withholding that particular scene, guys, it's lost to me. Their reason is lost to me. But if there's anything I noticed about the way Chioma told her story to her family, it was the way she completely painted Caroline in a bad light. During her confessional, she was saying that she did not want to mention the names of the women involved, that's Caroline and Iyabo, because she didn't want her family to see them in a wrong light. But come on, Chioma, we're not stupid. We're not dumb. We have sense. We know that as you've been shooting the show, as you've been filming the show, your family obviously knows the ladies that you are very close to on the show. So her coming with that flimsy reason during her confessionals, guys, I was so irritated. Now, the other thing that she does, as I said, the way she painted Caroline, she was talking about, oh, the one that is pretty much my friend on the show, and the other one I'm liking, that I'm getting close with. Oh, then she now said that that's Caroline. She was not referring to Caroline as the one that has pretty much had issues with all the ladies on the show. And I'm like, Chioma, that was mean. Chioma, that was wicked of you. Caroline has not been the one having issues with all the ladies on the show. It's been Laura having issues with Caroline. It's been Mariam confusing Caroline's way of greeting people to be Caroline being pretentious and fake. It's been Toyin saying all manner of nasty things about Caroline, making sly remarks and throwing jabs at Caroline. So where was that coming from, guys? honestly, that was the red flag for me, that this Chioma, no, okay, that wasn't even the beginning of the red flag. The start of the red flag for me was when, you know, Caroline had that fight with Laura. And guys, remember that I mentioned that Chioma did not want to be involved. She literally sat down, you know, by her own self. It was much later that she went ahead to go and start trying to pacify Caroline. So on that conversation with her family, I saw another person that acted like a green snake. I'm sorry, but I have to call a spade a spade. She completely, you know, I don't know, should I say she completely tainted the image of Caroline to her mother and her sister. And then Iyabo also went ahead to narrate her own side of the story during her confessional.
The face, the reaction, I was like, Caroline, what's wrong with you? And she said, nothing is going on. It's just so unfair that, you know, you and Tiannah have to move to the apartment and I don't have a room to myself. And I was shocked.
Whatever Iyabo said, Iyabo painted herself to be the saint. She did not say she did anything wrong, you know. And guys, I'll repeat that it still pains me that we did not witness that particular scene for ourselves, so that we can deduce by our own selves what exactly happened, because everybody has a side to their own story, and for real, we cannot really say that this person is lying or this person is actually telling the truth. But afterwards, Laura was excitedly narrating the gist to her friend Celine.
You should have come. Oh, I'll be like passing for you. I'm gonna just Celine now. So I was in the bathroom. I was saying, Iyabo, they shout, so I come on. Upstairs, because they hold Iyabo.
You know, telling her friend that, you would have come to Dubai, I wish you were here, that she was in her room, and then she was hearing, you know, a lot of noise and ruckus and all of that, and she had rushed over to Chioma and Caroline's room, and Chioma had actually politely begged her that she should not be a part of it, you know, because of course, the history that they have, you know, that she would not have left, but because she wasn't interested in causing drama, she had left. Initially, she did not want to leave. So guys, that was the build-up of the entire drama. What we did not know was that a lot more was going to unfold. Anyways, the next scene we saw was the ladies going to the Billionaires Club. Guys, they went in all of their glory, in all of their splendor. They were looking amazing. And I must give it to Caroline. She really did put in a lot of work into this one, because everything was talking money. Everything was talking class. Everything was talking bougie. And so she had taken a moment to appreciate all the ladies, you know, for coming through for her. And Toyin, of course, had also encouraged Toyin to have fun, you know, to drink up, have fun. And then she had specially thanked Iyabo, right? Even respectfully thanking Iyabo for coming through, you know, and honoring her invitation, despite the fact that they had had a fallout the previous night.
You want get wrong. Iyabo's sexy. As you want to be called, you look amazing. Thank you for honoring me.
And Iyabo did not really say anything. You know, she went with the flow, like all was well and good. But then during her confessionals, she was actually still very, very livid.
I don't know how to pretend. I'm really upset with this girl. I feel like the fact that I have to pretend is what is annoying me. Caroline came, pretended, played the nice girl card. And the fact that Chioma and Mariam disturbed me when I was trying to jump this girl is pissing me off the more.
But at the end of the evening, they had all had so much fun. They had danced, they had had expensive food, expensive drinks, they had had mad fun. And even Toyin, that is always constantly beefing Caroline, was really impressed. Now the next scene was by the poolside. The ladies were having a great time. To be very frank with you all, they were having so much fun. It almost seemed as though there was no bad blood between any of them. They had put aside their differences. They were having so much fun. Toyin had gone ahead to invite, I think, 4 people. There was a guy amongst them, and according to her, she had brought the guy for Chioma because they were obviously trying to hook up Chioma. And then there was a bit of an argument, not really a vehement argument like that, just basically a friendly argument that, Chioma was in a relationship, Chioma had a boyfriend, or Chioma was engaged. And Toyin had said that she had actually seen the rumor on a certain blog that Chioma was engaged, and Chioma was trying to defend herself that this is the 4th time already that people are accusing her of being engaged. Even her family were even asking her questions, that she was never and had never been engaged, that she loves adorning her hands, her fingers with rings. It does not mean that she's engaged to anybody. At that point in time, Laura was feeling very uncomfortable. She kept on complaining that she was tired, she wanted to sleep, she was feeling dizzy, she wanted to pee. Guys, by this time already, we knew that it was all signs of pregnancy. And I am thinking that Laura probably mentioned it on one of our confessionals and we were just not sure. I don't know, just probably to just portray her to be that one person that is just constantly restless. Guys, once again, that is the fault of the producers, the editors, all of them. But that was that. Laura needed to leave, and so she left, and conversations moved on. Everybody was in the pool having fun, and then later on, Caroline, Iyabo, Mariam, and Chioma, they were seated after having a cool bath in the pool, and Caroline used that opportunity to start apologizing to Chioma for what had happened the previous night.
Chioma said she wanted me to apologize, so I'm sorry, my love. You know I love you very much. You've always been there for me, and I've always been there for you.
When you came at me, did you really have anything?
No. It was actually a transfer of aggression from the frustration I was getting from the team. Do you understand? Because I asked for something, and it was more or less like I was treated like I was irrelevant.
But it was very obvious that Chioma had not really gotten over it. And guys, that made me wonder that, okay, fine. Caroline is busy apologizing to Chioma. Why is she carrying Iyabo's quarrel, Iyabo's fight on her head? Because she now kind of diverted Caroline's apology, you know, to Iyabo. So basically, because they were actually saying a lot of things. So basically, Chioma wanted Caroline to apologize all over again to Iyabo.
Earlier on in the day, whilst Caroline and myself were in our room, I told her that Iyabo was really, really hurt and didn't feel like her apology was genuine. Caroline said to me, I already apologized, I'm not apologizing again, and don't ask me to apologize to Iyabo one more time because I already did that.
Chioma was still very, very insistent and was strongly and vehemently trying to force, or should I say talk, or should I say convince, or should I say, guys, I don't even understand what Chioma's agenda was, but she was kind of making herself look good, like, oh, I'm the one that's trying to make Caroline see that she actually offended the so-called almighty auntie Iyabo, but Caroline is the one that is not wanting to apologize, which makes her a bad person.
It's not intentional. You've never, but you have now done this.
We've been together for 3 months. How many times have I taken out a blind read on you? Regardless of the fact
taken out blind read on me.
But I've never taken out blind read on anybody.
If you can take it out on her.
But I've never taken it out on anybody.
Caroline, you said it, but you've now done it.
That was not true. You made it look as if that every apology I gave to her was a lie.
How did I make her seem so?
That was what I told you today.
But how? What did I say that made you feel that way?
Caroline had her own confessional, and then that was where she had told us the exact thing that had actually happened the night before.
That is not the case. The issue with Chioma was because I told her off about her boyfriend. And so to get back at me, she had to say that. I find that very, very insulting. How do you know I was not remorseful? Are you in my heart? What kind of favor are you trying to seek from Iyabo that you feel that you should sell me out like that?
According to Caroline, first of all, Toyin had transferred them to another villa. The villa they were at before had 6 rooms, so each and every one of the ladies, they had a room to themselves. And then the villa that Toyin had transferred them to had just 5 rooms. So Toyin had just automatically assumed that since Caroline and Chioma were friends, that they should share 1 room. Now that did not really sit well with Caroline, because she felt like she needed her own space. At least she needed a room to herself, which, guys, in my opinion, I do not see anything wrong with that. And especially if Toyin had not previously had that conversation with Caroline, then I felt like there was actually everything wrong with that move as executed by Toyin. So that was one. And then Caroline also complained that she had not been eating well. She was hungry. On the yacht, what they had was a lot of swallow eba and soup, and she did not really want to eat that, so she was hungry. And then she had made a request to the producers of the show. Once again, the producers coming to the fault of things in the grand scheme of everything. So she had made a request to the producers, and according to her, they had treated her like she was insignificant. They had not given attention to her needs. They had completely ignored her. So she was complaining to Chioma about it all in their room, and Chioma was probably trying to pacify her. So it was at that point in time that Iyabo had walked into the room, and according to her, Iyabo had made a very, very insensitive statement. What everybody is failing to see is that Iyabo, in as much as everybody calls her Auntie Iyabo, probably the eldest amongst all of them, Iyabo had actually been kind of insensitive to Caroline. Number one, Caroline lost a diamond bracelet. She claims that it's worth $43,000, yes. And guys, we all heard the very, very insensitive and irrational remark that Iyabo had made. And we had all laughed about it because, hey, it's Iyabo. Iyabo has been cool. Iyabo is the peacemaker amongst the group, right? We had all laughed about it. But if we are being frank with ourselves, that was highly insensitive. If it was Caroline that had made that statement to Iyabo, guys, we know how the story would have unfolded. Iyabo would have, rained thunder and brimstone talking about respect. Oh, me, Iyabo, Caroline cannot respect me. But Caroline had been very chilled about it. She had not really made a fuss about it. She had been very, very gracious about it, all because she did not want to cause drama at Toyin's birthday celebration. Now, Caroline, once again, is complaining that she was, complaining about something that the producers were doing to her. And once again, Iyabo had come to make more insensitive statements. Why won't she lash out at Iyabo? Why is everybody scared of Iyabo? And guys, from the whole scenario, it was so obvious that Chioma was obviously scared of Iyabo. She did not want to be in Iyabo's bad books. She wanted to be on Iyabo's side. And knowing that being on Iyabo's side meant being on the side of the other ladies are going to automatically have your back, because it was also very obvious that the likes of Toyin, Laura, and Mariam, they were scared of Iyabo. Nobody wants to offend Iyabo at all, because they all know that Iyabo is cuckoo upstairs. And Iyabo, when it comes to being violent and acting aggressive, when you trigger her, she can go extra.
I literally had to force you to apologize. So of course it's not genuine. And you and I both know that. And the fact that I know that you're here lying and pretending, this is irritating me. Like, be honest for once.
I don't understand this chummy thing that you're doing when you actually saw these ladies as well.
So the fact that Chioma had not even been sensitive enough to see that Iyabo had actually made insensitive remarks to her friend Caroline on 2 different occasions on the same very trip, guys, even still standing to support Iyabo, even still going ahead to make statements like, oh, Caroline's apology to Iyabo had not been remorseful, was never remorseful, wasn't still remorseful.
Probably the most condescending, the rudest, the most, she lacks empathy, she lacks emotional intelligence, she's such a horrible person. And the fact that I've seen all of this and still stood by this stupid, useless thing.
Still wanting Caroline to still go ahead for the 4th time to apologize to Iyabo, and still going ahead to make statements like, oh, the one person I did not want you to offend, the one person that has been standing by us, supporting us, has had our side. Guys, it just made me realize that, oh my God, Chioma actually indeed enjoys the gang lifestyle. You want to be a part of a gang, you want to be a part of a group, you want to be a part of something so that everybody will have your back, so that everybody will cover you. And it also went further to expose the harsh reality that the so-called loyalty that she had been talking about that she had towards Caroline, guys, it had been fake all along. I'm not saying that Chioma as a human being, her lifestyle and whatever is fake, no, but our own concept of friendship, our own concept of, having people's back is completely flawed. I mean, guys, we had seen a prime example of the fights that Caroline had with Laura. We had seen how Chioma had completely detached herself at the initial stage of that fight so as not to soil herself, get herself involved in all of it. It was when she now saw that the Iyabo that she was looking up to as the anti-Iyabo, the holy one that does not look for trouble, was trying to pacify Caroline. That was when she had now gone ahead to pacify Caroline, guys. We had seen that one before. We had seen it evident, a disloyalty, evident on that particular scenario before. But on this particular episode, guys, oh my God, it reeked like a very, very terrible stench, and she wasn't even hiding it. And the fact that she kept on standing her ground, that Caroline's apology to Iyabo was not remorseful, guys. Jesus! Ladies and gentlemen, beware of friends like Chioma. They'll throw you under the bus, and when you are dead, they'll pick up your body, they'll chop you up into pieces, and then they will throw you to the sharks. Whilst the conversation was still going on and on, Caroline had said, oh, let's talk about Laura.
Please, let's just talk about Laura. I've got to understand Laura.
No, let's not talk about Laura.
Now, what she started saying was that, look, I think I understand Laura now. From what she was trying to explain, guys, I had a strong feeling that she wanted to say that Laura was pregnant. Because if you all recall, Earlier at the table beside the pool, before they had gone into the pool to swim, when Laura had been making a fuss, oh, she was tired, she was dizzy, she wanted to go and sleep. Remember, guys, Laura has kids, Caroline also has kids. The only person that doesn't have a child on that table is Chioma. So Caroline had probably picked up instantly that, okay, maybe Laura is pregnant, and probably wanted to explain that to the women. But all of them, Chioma, Iyabo, and Mariam, they had shut her down. That no, let's not talk about Laura. And Chioma was the leader of that conversation. She has shut down her friend Caroline up. I said, no, let's not talk about Laura, let's talk about ourselves. She was not paying attention and still insisting that Caroline's apology to Auntie Iyabo was not remorseful at all. Now, guys, it was quite shocking when in Caroline's confessionals, she had actually revealed that, talking about apology, she had apologized to Iyabo 3 times already, like on 3 different days. Remember, guys, they're in Dubai for 7 days. So according to Caroline, she had apologized 3 days in a row. And on one of those days, she had gone shopping. She had bought a gift for Iyabo, had come to present that gift to Iyabo. Iyabo had accepted the gift.
I apologize. I went as far as buying you a gift. You accepted the gift 3 times. You accepted my apology 3 times. Why are we still on and on about it?
And then remember, they had gone to the Billionaires Club, which she took them to, and she had apologized again to Iyabo. And Iyabo was still holding on to all of those things, guys. I'm sorry to say, but how many times did Chioma expect Caroline to apologize to Iyabo? Even Iyabo was making a mockery of Caroline's apology, that Caroline had ran to her room on the night the thing happened and come to kneel down to apologize to her, that it's all fake, she does not buy it. And I'm thinking that, but if you do not accept the apology, why did you go ahead to accept the gift? Why? I mean, guys, at that point in time, honestly, it just occurred to me that, I'm sorry, not be by age. It's not by age. It's not by, I am the auntie of the group. It's by having emotional intelligence. And Iyabo did not really say anything. You know, she went with the flow, like all was well and good. But then during her confessionals, she was actually still very, very livid. You know, according to her, Caroline had come at her. Caroline had attacked her. And if there's one regret she had, it was the fact that she was not allowed to jump on Caroline. That would have given her the satisfaction that she needed to put Caroline in her place.
The next minute, she comes back, I'm sorry. I don't mean it. Oh, come and fuck off.
Jesus Christ! Iyabo, obviously, guys, I done something to offend Caroline. She had made insensitive comments, and it was quite appalling that none of the ladies were even, talking about it. Mariam was obviously siding with Chioma to go against Caroline because, of course, she had her own issues with Caroline from day one that she joined the group.
She was still hurt. She wanted to react.
You didn't talk to me about Caroline. You were commanding me and you were raising your
because
voice.
you refused to listen. No, I was explaining to you, and you were saying you're not going to apologize any further.
Why I wasn't listening to you anymore was because...
And that's why I was getting angry.
No, why I wasn't listening? Because you were making it look like I was lying.
I apologize now. I'm not apologizing again. I'm not do that.
But before she didn't want to apologize, and she was lying. I've never seen somebody that lies with confidence in my entire life.
Chioma, obviously, guys, to be very frank with you, in fact, I did not even know where Chioma's own motive was coming from, but it was very obvious that she wanted to be in the good books of not just Iyabo, but the rest of the ladies, and that was really terrible because she did not relent. She continued pushing Caroline and triggering Caroline by the things that she was saying, and guys, guess what? Chioma was the one that actually started with the insults that made the whole thing escalate from 0 to 100.
If you ask me what you're talking about, what you're all about, oh, shut your whole mouth. What kind of nonsense is that?
You're the kind of person that you'll say one thing, when you get called out, you run to the left, you run to the right.
I'm running to one and make it make sense. I'm ready for this thing. I'm ready for this thing. Fool. Like, look at this fucking idiot. Stupid. I had all this because of you.
That was the point where both ladies, they had been raising their voices at each other. That was when Caroline also made the statement that, but Chioma, why are you throwing me under the bus? Why are you saying all of these things? These ladies that you're actually supporting, these are the same ladies that you called Raz. And Chioma was saying, oh yes, they are now my best friends, blah, blah, blah. You're not my friend anymore, blah, blah, blah. So at that point in time, Toyin had come into the picture, and Toyin was quite shocked seeing that those two people were actually going at each other. And I think she and Mariam, they were actually messaging Laura in the room to come and see what's happening, Laura herself was also very, very excited that, oh yes, they were fighting, finally thinking that, oh, she was vindicated as the villain of the group.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy that this happened. I did not know it was gonna happen this soon, but yeah, for the first time, they were in my room. Chioma was in my room.
And then Iyabo and Toyin, they had moved Chioma to one of the rooms, and they were all, of course, heatedly having conversations about the whole Caroline thing. And Chioma was seriously trying to convince Iyabo and Toyin that she's the good person, that she's on their side.
She went back to every single lady and she was lying to them because she wants to be in their group.
If you're not my friend, I will not check you. Do you understand? If I don't care about her, I would have been like, you know what, let me leave her to her stupid, because she's stupid. She would have done this stupid, and you would have beat her like her. Yeah. You would have destroyed her. I swear, just destroyed her. She was my beautiful. You carried me down like that.
That Caroline's apology to Iyabo was never genuine. It was unremorseful. You know, she was just saying no manner of things, you know, and Iyabo picked that one, that, oh, so my apology was not remorseful. Then she now went back to go and meet Caroline, and then she was telling Caroline it's okay to calm down. So guys, I'm sorry, but it just looked like Chioma really wanted everybody to be on her side. And of course, because everybody liked her, they obviously gravitated easily towards her own side.
My issue with Caroline is you lack emotional intelligence. Oh, really? It's a miracle, because I can never in 100 years to come to say that these people will ever have issues with each other. Are you mad? What is your problem? Are you not the one that... Are you mad? How do you do that? Don't you have intelligence? It doesn't matter. You're the one that... It doesn't matter.
Now, it was at that point in time that Iyabo had come out of that room to go and talk to Caroline that Chioma had followed behind, right? Now, this was me thinking that Chioma probably wanted to come and calmly speak to Caroline, but then before we knew it, she started raining insults again on Caroline, and then she was the first person that called Caroline a bastard, and Caroline had insulted her back that you are the bastard, your family, all of you, you are the ones that are bastards. And then everybody jumped on Caroline's face. Hey, don't bring her family into it. And Caroline was like, but she was the one that first insulted me to be a bastard. I mean, we all know that Caroline still has a mom, so Chioma insulted her and she reciprocated the energy. But then everybody took Chioma's side, you know, so when they were holding both of them, because Chioma was like, hey, my family is everything to me, blah, blah, blah.
Don't ever come to my family. I don't care. Talk about me. Talk about the situation. Do not talk about my family. My family is everything to me, and if you come for my family, I will finish you.
That was when Chioma had actually attacked. So in trying to push Caroline, Chioma had now gone ahead to push Iyabo, and Iyabo had automatically pushed Caroline to the chair. And she was making threats, raining thunder and brimstone. She was going to deal with Caroline, blah, blah, blah. You know, guys, it was a mess.
I just want to mention this. Are you mad? You're a bastard. When Dora was finishing, I was the one petting you. You idiot. I was the one petting you. I am here. Don't do the bullshit. You're a bastard.
The next day, Chioma had been making a call to her sister, and there was no manner of insult that Chioma did not use to describe Caroline. She insulted everything about Caroline, Caroline's background, like she rained curses, insults, everything on Caroline.
Ungrateful riffraff, this scumbag of the earth, this local animal. This stupid, ungrateful rat say, oh, let me see your scars, or let me see your body, let me make sure that you're okay. Do you understand? Like, you know, very overly entitled behavior, bad, dirty behavior.
And of course, the likes of Laura and Toyin, they were really excited. Laura especially had been very, very fast to jump on the phone to calling her friend Celine to give her all the juicy tea about what had gone down.
Yeah, like, you know, now I understand what you were saying, what you were talking about. She's really a liar. She's delusional. Now I know what you've been talking about. If my man, I say, I beg you.
Chioma had automatically switched camp to Laura. According to her, Laura is better than Caroline. Now she sees why everybody dislikes Caroline. Caroline is a liar. Caroline is manipulative, blah, blah, blah. And Caroline had also disclosed that she understands why Chioma was attacking her the way she was doing. Then she disclosed that it was because she had actually had a proper talk, or that she says scolded Chioma about her boyfriend. Maybe that was why Chioma was retaliating. Guys, we need the full gist about that, because honestly, I don't know what that was all about. We did not hear or even see anything on the show about that. So according to Caroline, Chioma was trying to get back at her. That was why she was disgracing her in front of all the ladies. And guys, to be very frank with you, it looked like that because Chioma was very, very vindictive when she was doing and saying all of what she did the previous night. Now, for Laura was telling her friend that all the ladies, you know, inclusive of Chioma, they had actually come to her room and they were now making her feel like she's the good person all of a sudden, that she was not buying any of it. They should just leave her alone. She was not interested, that she was happy that she's not the one that caused the drama. And there was something her friend Celine said, that Chioma of a girl, she's not a good friend. I say, thank God that even Laura's friend even recognized that Chioma, what she did was actually wrong. And then afterwards, they had a bonfire night. Of course, Caroline was absent. All the ladies, they had gone to a part of the desert. I don't know where, but they went to have a bonfire night. They went to have conversations. And that was where, what's her name? Toyin had actually broke the news that she was pregnant again. God. Guys, I was wondering, like, but I thought your daughter Eliora is she 1 year old or 1 year and 6 months old? But Laura, we did not see or hear Laura announce that she was pregnant because according to her, she did not have any secret at all to share. And there was also another thing that Chioma did once again. You know, when Toyin was making a toast to the ladies, she even went as far as saying that, fire has a way of bringing the ladies together, that she wished one person was not there. And then Chioma was like, who is not here? Obviously knowing that it was her friend on the show, Caroline, that was not there. Ha! Jesus. Chioma disappointed me. There was one of her confessionals where she said that, Caroline did not even check up on her, that she had bruises on her body because Iyabo carried her and threw her away, and then she landed on the vanity mirror, blah blah blah, in the room. She had bruises. Caroline did not check up on her, and I'm wondering, like, it's impossible that such a thing will happen, and then Caroline will not check up on Chioma. But then once again, I blame the producers for not showing us exactly what happened on that particular scene, because it would have even helped us more, you know, to deduce our own form of judgment on what the whole ladies were raving about. But once again, whether they showed us that scene or not, Chioma's own way of correcting, or even should I say addressing Caroline, was 100% wrong. And if that is how Chioma is in real life, then she's the sort of friend that does not mind killing her fellow friend just to belong to a gang. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how I saw the show, this particular episode. This is how I interpreted all of the actions, events, and everything that happened on this episode. I'm sure that you have your own interpretation, and I would love to hear or read about it. So please go ahead and share with me your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. Do have an amazing, amazing day. Bye.